Right then, let's get straight into it. So let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
It's a very good place to start.
I'm going to work with this row of hearts. And the beauty about these is that they're not very big.
Okay.
So you can have a little practice with these ones or do lots of them in different colours. It grows quick, so, you know, you can really have fun with it. So I've got quite a thick card here. This is 300 GSM.
What would you recommend?
Yeah, between two and upwards.
2 and 3.
Yes, you don't want it too flimsy. So I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. I'm going to place the die towards the
And with them being quite a delicate die and a smaller die, it would work through the smaller machines as well.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I've only got one of the Diddy Tiny, mine's even smaller than this, I've only got one of the Diddy Tiny machines. But I think most of these dies would fit through there because they're quite thin and quite skinny, because my plates are only little.
Definitely.
I think they would.
Oh, it's gone on a wonky angle.
Tomorrow. Just for fun.
And they are very good quality dies, so they do cut beautifully, as you can tell. There's hardly any little holes still in there.
Now you've gone on the squiff.
I have, yes.
Can we just put it anywhere on a card and we snip around it? Do we have to put it where we want it to go? How does it work in that sense?
Yes, because like you say, you are cutting into the card. If you wanted this, if this was your card blank, then I would probably definitely tape it down and position exactly where I want it, like there towards the bottom. Or you can just cut into your scrap pieces. I wasn't too bothered, it has gone a bit wonky, but I quite like the fact of cutting around these hearts because you can see the little dented line from the die, so you can follow that and actually cut them out.
I like this though, I like this. So they cut perfectly. We first tick, they cut amazingly. They've left none of the little dimples or holes in there, which is absolutely beautiful. So where do we go next on our crafting journey?
Well, the next thing to do is to sew into it. And what I've done as well on another piece here is that I was more particular about this piece. I actually cut as well a frilly bottom. So I do all the die cutting first.
So this is also in the one-day special, the frilly bottom. I love it.
This one here, yeah, I've gone for the more simpler one and I die cut that out as well and sort of trimmed it to size. So this is going to be my card front panel. But what I was going to say is, yes, you die cut your elements or stamp them as well first before you sew, because once you've got the stitches in there, you don't want to run it through your machine.
True.
So this is all prepared now for me to sew. So think about that to start with, or do, you know, have a practice, and if it's great, cut it out.
And then use that as like an applique.
Like you say, you can just cut one of the hearts out. Okay, so I've just got the normal embroidery skein here. So just have a small section of it. You don't need very much. Don't need a massive long piece. Now this is quite thick to use it as it is for cross stitch. So it's ideal really to split it in half. So you've got 3 threads to use. So I've got 3 threads here and then 3 threads on this one that I'll use later. So thread that through your needle. For quickness, I've already done that. And I've got here a thicker tapestry needle with a thicker hole. So it's nice to have the right type of needle as well. So with cross stitch, all it basically is a series of diagonal stitches one way, and then diagonal stitches the other way, which cross over to make the cross shape. And another good thing to think about is to start at the top. Okay, because you don't want to grip your work at the bottom whilst you're stitching at the top.
Okay.
And it just keeps it cleaner and neater.
And we haven't got to knot the back or anything like that?
No, don't knot the back, because we don't want, and it's not necessary, we don't want any lumps and bumps. So just hold it flat against where you're going to sew, and then you just sew into the end naturally. So look at this grid as a series of 4 squares. Okay. Okay, because they are your individual stitches. So just go diagonally from bottom left to top right, and then just do this, the first diagonal stitch.
Oh, so you do all the diagonals the same way first?
Yes, you go all the way along as far as you need to. If you need to do 1 stitch, then just do the 1. So I can go all the way along here. But I won't do that. I'll stop at this heart design. So I've got one more to do. And then you just put the needle in down at the bottom. See, I've created all these nice straight stitches at the back. So you go back down to the bottom, and then we're going to go bottom right. I'm not very good with my right and left. Bottom right, top left now. Into that using that square pattern with the holes.
It comes together very quickly, doesn't it?
It does come together quickly.
It's quite a satisfying project.
It is,
you haven't got to sort of
yes.
sit and wait for it to appear.
It's easy to hold because it's nice stiff card. You use up your thread quickly, so it is fun to do for children. They love it. So you just carry on with, and then with cross stitch, all the top stitches do need to go in the same direction so that it looks super neat. So you do the same angle all the time and then go across. So now when I want to come down and do my second row, I come down, straight down, and then do the same thing. Go at an angle for however long you want. You can skip a hole, skip a series of holes, not you know, obviously not go too far. That's okay, because you want to do different colours and everything.
Can we put beads and sequins in?
You can, yes, yes. Or you could stick them on, definitely stick them on top. So I'm not going right to the end, I'm just want to show you what a few stitches look like. And also, because you work, I'm rushing, aren't I? I'm getting so excited about it.
No, it's fine.
I must slow down. Because you work from top to bottom, then what you're doing is you're coming up from this top, from the base, and then down into the top. Especially when you've already done the row, you're going down into the hole where there's 3 other threads. But if you were doing it the other way and coming up there, then you might snag some of the threads on your way up.
That makes sense.
So it's neater to do it this way. And then you're sewing in the thread at the back. I've actually missed there, but you can also just push that through if it hasn't. And then when you come to the finish, just go into the threads at the stitches at the back, and that's all it needs, and then cut that off.
Oh, okay.
Cut that off, and that's all it needs. That'll be secure enough. So yes, it's a lovely pastime to do. Very therapeutic, and it is easy, and it looks really effective, I think. So I've got different, especially when you get a collection of yarns, I've got lovely purples here in 4 different shades. So my result here is that I've got like an ombre effect.
Oh, look at that.
So I've done the lightest one across first, and then changed colour, and then gone down. So at the back, you can see that I've got, it's supposed to look as neat on the back as the front, but I've got longer stitches here because I've stretched over this distance just for this one dark stitch at the bottom, which doesn't matter. It actually saves yarn to do this than to sort of
keep doing it individually.
Yes,
it's a bit here and there than if you do it on just
you want to
one.
save time. Yeah, you can cut corners like this. That's perfectly fine. So that's like a nice stitched panel now that I can use for my card. So I've got an A6 card blank. Let's grab that. And I want to introduce some more purple into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down at the top. I'm just going to add the glue to the top. It's going to be a top fold card as well. Let's place it right at the top. And I've got some coloured purple card as well that I'm going to introduce there. Let's bring that die back in because I want to use that and cut into some sort of lilac colour.
Nice.
So place that at the bottom, die cut that, and you get this piece. So I'm just going to place some glue under there.
I'm guessing you get a positive and negative from this, and I reckon the negative would look quite nice.
Oh, well, yes, a little line. Well, it depends how close you cut it to the edge of the card. But yes, you get a little wiggly off-cut piece.
It reminds me of you know when you tear a jotter?
Yes, yes.
It's sort of got that teared jotter look to it.
Yeah, and I also got a darker purple as well that I'm going to put under there. Just to make a sort of ombre sort of pattern
Matches
the
the
bottom
hearts
here.
beautifully.
Yeah, I don't want to stick it all down flat because I quite like a bit of relief and texture. So I'm just going to go with that. Let's get it square. That's it. And then I'm just going to simply personalise this. Let's get it square. And
Did I read right the other day? Janice has got one of your cards in her home now.
Oh, she did, yes, because I was rushing the last demo and it never got shown. So I quickly finished it and gave it to her so she can upload it.
She did as well.
Yeah, she did.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So that people
putting
can
it out there,
find it and see it complete.
Janice has got a card. Just saying.
Right, I do love these alphabet dies. I think they're terrific. I think the font's really nice, and I'm going to use this just to personalise my
You could an A, a
card.
D, and an A and an M would look lovely on the top of that card.
Oh, you're not wearing purple, so it's for someone else. So this also cuts lovely. Would you like a purple card, Adam?
Oh, well, I'm not saying. I took the big blueberry costume off because I thought it was a bit much. I look like something from Willy Wonka.
Actually, that's rather nice. That would be good for journaling as well, wouldn't
Nice little stencil you've created there.
it? So I'm going to leave these in here because I want to spell a name. So what I've got is I've got a spare piece of card with a pencil line. Get some glue. And what I want to do is to get an A. And I'm going to use this pencil line as my baseline. And then I'll grab a C. And I want to stick these together. It's going to be fiddly, but worth it. I mean, you can use these separately, or you could, I quite like butting them together, because I just think it looks more like, especially with a short name, I quite like it sort of sitting closer together. And then I'll get a K there.
What name's this?
Oh.
I love this game, Work Out the Name.
Yeah, guess the name.
There's a show title there.
Guess the name.
Oh, Jack.
And then I want an I. Where's the I? There it is. The I's quite good because it actually has the dot in amongst it as well, which is handy. And then an E. You can guess the name now, can't you?
Aki.
Well, I'm going to use the capital letters as well.
I love our Aki. Could be Mackay.
Don't want it to stick down. So that's all square there. And then if we cut another letter from this one. The other good thing is this is one die. Let me show you. It is one die, which is quite handy. So you can quickly die cut all of those in one colour.
I would, though. I would pass it all through, wouldn't you? And just keep the little offcuts?
No,
oh, no, okay.
No, I wouldn't. If I just want one letter, I'm going to cut a little piece of card and plonk it on the top and then run it through. Save my card. So I've got my J.
Don't cut them all out. Save your card, people.
Yes.
Save your card.
Save your card. If you just want one letter, this is.
Yeah, but you'd have that letter many a time then. You wouldn't have to...
Yeah, I mean, I would, yes, if I was doing like black or something that I know I'm going to use over and over again. I hope I've spelt the name right.
Well, you haven't. It was an A, D, A and M, but, you know. I could be Jackie of a Sunday.
So this card might be going to my sister.
Oh, is it a birthday?
Yes, yeah.
When's a
Or
birthday?
I've got a very nice, good, crafty friend that it might suit as well. There you go. And I think that's all it needs. I think I want the stitching to be the focal point. So, there.
Look at that.
Nice, clean and simple card.
That is lovely. Look at that. That's beautiful. That would look lovely with my name on.